Okay, so basically what I have a simple recipe. 250-gram block of butter, 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of caster sugar, and 4 eggs. And that'll make the mixture for my Bakewells. Now, I'm probably lazy doing this. I don't believe in the effort of mixing butter, so what I do is I pop it into the microwave for 1 minute at a time, or maybe 30 seconds at a time, just to melt it. So now that took a minute in the microwave, and you can see it is nicely melted. And here I have a mug of sugar up to about 1 inch from the top. Any good baker will tell you put in plenty sugar. The food will always taste good if it's loaded with sugar. Forget your healthy eating, this is a treat. Now, so I'll mix those there together, just the butter and the sugar. As you can see, that's well mixed there. Now I'll put in my 4 eggs. Now the eggs have been beaten in there a little bit. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sieve the flour into it as well. So 2 mugs of flour. So now the flour is mixing in there. Just speed it up a little bit. And we'll get a nice little bun mix. Just takes a bit of time. So there's a lovely little bun mix there now ready for me to do the Bakewells. Now I'm lazy, and because I'm lazy I don't bother making my own pastry. I just buy it from the rare occasions that I do cook. Now my baking tins are here, but the big problem here is I'll be cutting the pastry using a scone cutter, and I'll be putting it in, but what you don't want is you don't want it to stick in around here after the baking takes place. So they need to be really well buttered to stop the pastry from sticking. Now, as you can see, I've well buttered using the back of that, using a block of butter, taking off a thin slice at a time, putting in the back of this, and just really buttering the inside of the tray. Also important to butter on top between the slots as well, because pastry could stick to that too. Now my largest scone cutter wasn't big enough to cut a big enough piece of pastry, so I had to use a very wide mug to do so. As you can see here, the difference, this is the one done with the mug, this is the one done with the scone cutter. As you can see there, the pastry is in all the places, nicely buttered, as you can see there from the top. So the next step now is to put in the raspberry jam. So now, as you can see, a little bit of jam in every one of them there. The jam will melt and will sort of go into liquid form and will fill up the bottom. I just kind of judge how much, there's no real accurate measurement. Now I have the bun mix in on top there. I kind of judge how much to put in. Sometimes you put in too much, and it kind of, with the self-raising flour, it kind of rises up all over the tray and everything. I kind of try and keep it just in or around or below the level of the pastry, which look, we'll see now when we put it on. Now I've put in there into the oven. I kind of go to 150 degrees. I believe in baking low and slow. That means then that you've no overdone bits and you've no raw bits. If you go to higher temperature, sometimes you can have raw bits and some of it then is overdone. So low and slow is my motto. We'll give it there about half an hour, see how it is, maybe 40 minutes, we'll see. Now, as you can see, they're done. A little bit too much jam in a couple of them there, but I got the amount of bun mixture correct, because as you can see there was no spillover really on the bun mixture with the self-raising flour and that. Very good tip actually, put it on the cooker. And you have a hot tray like that, just lay it on top of the cooker. If you have a glass kind of top on your cooker, it's a very handy thing for a hot tray like that. So now, there you go, time to start eating them now. You either have it in the kitchen or you don't. Lovely Bakewells, lovely buns.